Before we get started, here are the rules for our guest and panel to abide by for the 8 Forward live stream stage. This show is for gamers of all ages. Try to keep swearing to a minimum. Better yet, just don't do it at all. No ranting, be respectful of time constraints, and keep feedback and criticism targeted and succinct. We respect others' privacy here. No calling out particular players or alliances. No harassment, defamatory, or threatening remarks. Racism, sexism, bigotry, etc. First-time violations will result in a kick from the stage. Repeated violations will result in a ban. Now, over to Dan and the crew. Let's get the show started.
What I'm throwing down.
Yep, we're live now. I believe we can hear everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Now let me switch over to our guest of the evening.
Everybody,
there he is. Let me get me set up properly.
Everybody. Oh, what? Oh.
There we go. Back by popular demand. We've got Tiberius with us. Hey,
Popular
Tiberius.
demand. Ooh.
For real. Definitely.
That's hard to live up to.
I thought you said you were paying him to show up to the show.
Shh. There'll be no money for anybody else.
You paid him? Oh, man.
The beatings continue until morale improves.
All right. Looks like YouTube and Twitch are both streaming.
Excellent.
We hear everybody. And welcome, Tiberius. Dan,
Yes. Hey, it's good to see you guys. What a fun week. I know Trader is on a work call, but she will be joining us as well. I am fixing some of the snafu in the background that didn't happen right before we got started. We've got our list of topics if you want to go ahead and start addressing some of those there.
I will just picture evening.
I gotta delete our 1 minute and 2 second almost stream situation that we had. The snafu.
It was a pump fake.
Right.
It was
trying to see who pays attention.
I paid attention. I've got a bonus point today. I got a gold star. I'm going to put it right up on the wall.
Hey, we're already way ahead because people, I believe, can hear us on everything since we did test that this morning. Thank you both.
What'd you say? Yeah. I can't hear you.
Exactly.
Hey, good
What
evening.
I gotta deal with.
Olympus, Lloyd, how you guys doing?
So we are going to have a couple of special guests today. As one you already see is Tiberius. Welcome, Tiberius. Trader is going to be jumping on shortly. We have some current segments, and I don't know that I want to give away what the segments are. I think Dan going through them one at a time, allowing you to surprise everybody would probably be the best way to go about it.
Well, I should be ready in uno momento. We're very close. All this in the background.
And you wanted me to spread that out?
You did good.
I didn't see the visual cue. See the visual cue.
You got to filibuster a little bit. Keep going.
Yeah, you got me.
The time going. Yeah, there you go. It's
You
more
can do
like
it.
take your hand and spread them apart. That's what it is. Stretch it. You got to stretch the time.
Well, every time I
Yes,
go
I
try to
did
tell it in
fun.
the back end, Star Trek Fleet Command's the game. It's like, did you mean Star Trek Starfleet Command? And I'm like, no, I did not quit that. Every time. All right, save.
So now who's at fault for that? I don't think it's the game.
I think somebody at YouTube's to blame. One day I'll give them a stern talking to.
You do that. I'm sure they will listen to you wholeheartedly.
Right. About as well as everybody else does. All right.
What?
What? I don't want to leave. Did it save my changes?
You didn't back it up either, did you?
Well, I can't back up my browser. Anyhow.
You can.
Hey, so who's participated in an assault so far this week? That's the thing everybody's dying to do, right?
I think we have on our server maybe five groups that have.
How many times has your base been assaulted specifically? I'm pretty sure you're on a lot of people's hit lists.
I think 0.
Wow, people are tripping.
I have not. I don't know how it's going to come up anyway. Oh,
Yeah,
look,
how can you be public enemy number 1 alliance? I don't know if you can be number 1, but you're like in the top 3 for public enemy.
We are. I don't let it impact me because, people know. People who know.
Yes.
How's that? So Go Blue has his alliance has participated. I haven't been on all day, so honestly, we could have gotten attacked 12 times and I wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah, you've had some stuff going on, so I think
It's
you
all
can be
right.
forgiven.
Are the alerts even working today? Because they weren't yesterday. So
I have not
you
seen
could be
them.
attacked. You could be attacked 12 times and not even know it.
You mean the
That
alerts?
explains why
Yes.
some people were complaining about that in the Alliance chats last night.
Oh yeah, don't get me started. This was the most awful rollout of an event we've had in months.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of your stream talking about it.
I see Traders raising her hand in the audience. Can somebody bring her up?
No.
Is that?
That's not. She was invited.
Oh, I got you. She's probably still on the call.
You know what? You do your stuff over there. I'm doing this stuff. Let's keep those, separate here.
Okay.
I got
hey,
you.
You
I got you.
can do
I got
you.
you,
I'm
Pedro.
fairly certain I've got all the things that I can mucked up. So my work here is done. Let me go pull up.
For those of
Well,
you who
we-
haven't been in an assault yet, one of the ships will die instantly. That's the fun part. That's the
So-
more fun
That's the
part.
surprise inside.
Yeah.
Does that bring a Rialta kill ship, or just expect one of the ships is gone?
Is there a method?
Allegedly, it's supposed to target more frequently the weakest ship in the armada. So maybe you can try doing a Rialta thing. But if it doesn't, and it kills somebody else, well, now you're stuck with the Rialta that's going to die the first time it gets shot too. Now you're down to 2 ships.
What's the crit chance on an Alliance Starbase? Can you I don't know, Gala that or Troy that out of
That's a good
existence?
question.
Where's the Starbase?
Apparently, there's an echo that I have. I don't know.
Oh, you have an echo?
definitely go listen.
Echo, 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 echo.
Let me make sure I've got it muted on. There, I've got it muted on the way that we're piping you in over here. So that could have been me.
Tiberius, in your video, just mute your microphone.
I got it muted in there
I
too.
think that-
Okay, let's see if
I
that.
think that may be it.
That could, yeah, if that's the case, then it's Dan's fault still.
Okay.
It is still Dan's fault because I gave him the instructions to give to you, even with the screen print.
There's instructions.
Yeah, the
Yeah, just
instructions
saying.
were, hey,
I
get that
did
link from
my
last
job.
time.
I did my job.
All right, so I hit the button. I think it's muted. There we go. Okay,
Okay, so we'll see. Do we still have an echo?
You are good now.
excellent.
Cool, we figured that out. Excellent.
So anywho, so the short version is yeah, the first shot, the Alliance goes first. It shoots the first shot for 1 billion damage.
Wow.
Billion?
Yeah, 1.2 billion is what it hit me for yesterday. I
So
got to
everybody
participate. I was the guy who got shot. I instantly died, so I didn't get to shoot it and do any damage. So I don't score for the event. That's damage based.
Wow.
Wow.
Glad we spent those directives. So much fun.
Hee hee. Oh, crit chance. 0% crit chance.
It doesn't need to, and it shoots for 1.2 billion, right?
Right, when it just hits you for that right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Damage per
Okay.
round, 184.21 million. I think somebody needs to fact check that.
Well, when it's regular shots, because it only does that shot at the beginning of round 1 and like round 7, like it's like a 6-round cooldown.
Huh.
So all the regular shots are like 100k.
So when somebody goes crazy and decides to hack the game, they're going to get an Alliance Starbase gun stuck on their Kelvin or something.
Oh, would that be sweet?
Make up for that horrible round 1 damage.
First shot, 1 billion. Yeah, come at me, bro.
Sounds like nuts and chocolates. One
at me,
shot,
bro.
1.2 billion damage.
Yeah, 1 shot, 1 kill is really what it comes down to,
Is
right?
somebody's Starbase winning the heavy hitter SLB right now? I guess not if there's 0 crit chance. Huh. That's horrible.
That would be actually kind of humorous.
Yeah, a whole line. Like
You know what? It wouldn't even be unexpected.
it gives it to the Admiral. Everybody would be like, give me the Admiral. No, make me the Admiral. I want to win. Wow. All right. Well.
Oops.
Yeah, I haven't done an assault yet. And sounds like I'm not missing out on much of anything. So,
I honestly have no desire for that. And by the way, I don't keep the game on my phone, so I wouldn't be one
Slacker.
to check if alerts were coming through. Yeah, that's me. Dan,
Do you even play?
let me ask you a question.
No. That's my
Did you
answer.
send Tiberius the instructions?
No, I didn't even clone the
Yeah.
thing. You were like, can you clone this and shoot it to them so that we've got our... And like, no, I didn't do that, dude. What do you think? I am a security guy? I gave everybody complete access to the thing.
So you're projecting. I gotcha.
Right.
I,
Oh, man.
I'll happily be the target for this session.
Okay. Well, while where'd the thing go? So Treasury, who's kind of shook up on how few times they've had a banner tell them that their treasury is full this time around.
I had a little bit of a shock when I saw that my treasury was full when I hit it today.
Right? How do you even know if you don't get an alert every microsecond that your treasury is full?
I saw that and I'm like, oh no, Scopely reintroduced this? No way.
It only went off once today.
Right.
I don't even
I thought
remember.
that was a new event.
But I'm 80 shards left to open it up. I think a lot of people are at that 3920 mark.
I mean,
But how do you feel about this one? Because Dan, you had your thoughts. Tiberius, what are your thoughts about
yeah,
this
what are your
month's
thoughts
trade?
on this month's treasury?
It's actually not bad. I mean, it's got 3 epic officers in it, which first off is pretty good compared to some of the other ones, which have had less than that. And you know, it's 3 officers that don't have sourcing in the game.
Right.
Ducat, obviously great. Barclay doesn't have any sourcing, gives you a little bit below deck to cargo space, and Picard, who still, you know, a year and a half later, doesn't have sourcing in the game to get anything for him, to get him or unlock him or promote him.
Right. I think everybody who says this is not a good treasury is expecting the ore par steel treasury. And when this one is a dilithium and gas treasury, which really, I don't know why the ore par steel is so much more ore and a huge amount of par steel when the gas one is like, it doesn't give you less gas than it does anything else, but it's a lot more dilithium.
Yeah. Well, how much is in yours?
So that's
mine-
interesting. Yeah, David Gonzalez just said they seem to be changing the rewards based on server.
So
Because you get the server age thing and you get the cost thing, you know.
Well, I don't know that it's based on server, if it's that this one is because they're different on which things are the focus of it. Because they have some that are focused on your par steel and your ore. They have some that are focused on whatever. So I'm Ops 43 on server 63. And I have, drumroll please, where's it at? 3.6 billion dilithium.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
No,
I will
mine's
probably unlock it. I've
5.8,
got like 3 hours left to do it. I could have had a very different day today. I was very upset that the desealing rods, there was no answer for what to do with the broken desealing rods for so long. But Scopely came through.
They got it fixed just before the buzzer, right? Yeah.
Right. Before I was going to be extremely, now I have the option, do I want to do it or not? Because if it was like, no, it would have set a very weird precedent for them to just be like, no, some months we're not going to give you that option, so you can't get anything free to play out of there, even if you do what this game rewards you for and store up your resources and spend them wisely. You lose agency to be able to do that. I would have been I'm sure I would not have been the last one upset about that.
That'd have been the end of that. That'd have been rage quit. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one would have been because they changed the rules of the game during that point. But if you're looking at this treasury as somebody who has all 3 of those officers, how does that change your view of this?
I mean, material-wise, it's not bad. You know, it's more. It doesn't have par steel. Doesn't have any titanium. It's very dilithium heavy. Dilithium's great for researches, especially when you get into the mid 40s and beyond. If you're in your 30s, it's not a big deal because your researchers don't cost very much in your 30s or your 20s, relatively speaking.
Correct.
But when you get 40 plus, dilithium heavy, like everything's 100, 200, 300 million dilithium. So getting a big chunk of it like this is pretty good. And then the other resources obviously vary. You know, the crystal, the ore, the gas, that's going to change a little bit based on your pack and your server and stuff like that. But there's a decent amount in there. Like mine's got 10,000 uncommons in it of each. So
Yeah. It's
Does anybody remember from the last Treasury if we were heavy on one thing more than the other?
I don't know the last one. The last one I opened was extremely heavy on par steel, so it was about 3 months ago.
It was power steel and ore. Yeah.
I may have them. I don't have them handy. I did take some screen prints before.
Yeah, you probably did. So the only one that I'm going to actually be able to get is Gold Ducat out of this. I'm at 82 out of 100 when I open it. I will open it very likely. I already have Barkley, Jean-Luc Picard. I'm a ways from tier 2. I know some people are looking at it from, okay, what about the other way? What if you don't have any of them and you won't get any of them for unlocking it? Like I don't know. I can't say definitively do this or do that. There's no guarantee next month will be any better or worse than what we get this month. That's just the nature of, if you don't like what's in there, maybe you'll like what's in there next month. I don't know. Like if it doesn't have any value to you, there's no reason to go ahead and throw everything you have at it.
The only perk to getting it now would be because Ducat is also in the event store. It'll save you 120,000 currency.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to actually unlock him. If you're like, you know what, I have an enterprise, that's why I use. I'm going for Wayun and his crew instead, and I don't really care about Ducat, well then no, it doesn't have value for you.
Right.
I have the screen print from August 16th, so it's a couple months old.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in the chat talking about how their servers have the bad packs, and I believe I was told there's 8 different loadouts basically for your treasury. There's 2 different, like, each range, the $5, the $20, the $50, the $99. There's also something else, I don't remember what it is, that plays into that. So even on your own server, if you are a player who's hit that threshold, but like whatever your key is to unlock it, there's also 2 different versions of each one of those. So because there's 4 different purchases to unlock the treasury, and those kind of tell you which one of those you fall into. If you've got a $5 unlock, it's horrible. Not horrible, but you don't spend any money on the game. It's going to be relative to the money you don't spend on the game. It's going to be the absolute free to play. So
I heard they were taking those out too.
They may.
$5 keys. They were just like, whatever. It's not even worth putting in there.
Well, it's not. To my knowledge, nobody spent $5 on a treasury that hasn't spent money on anything else. They're not going to spend $5 on it. So, and that's the thing, is that there is the base minimum. If you're free to play, like pure free to play, you've never paid anything. That was the incentive that they tried to put out there in February or March when this thing first ran, to try to get you to spend money. Is $5 to open the thing. It wasn't a lot, but relative to all your other packs, it was, probably way more valuable than $5 spent anywhere else in the game, if you can find anywhere else to spend $5 in the game.
I'm trying to look in my free to play account right now, because if it's $5 for 20 Ducat shards, I might actually.
I don't think that it is. I think that it scales, like the officer shards are scaled in it too.
Yep.
Oh.
So what you're saying is your free to play account will no longer be free to play?
Possibly.
Thanks, Never for the follow over there on Twitch.
What's that? Is the key even in the store? Where the hell is it?
It should be.
It would be in the store.
Yeah, it would be in your offers tab.
Yeah, I'm scrolling.
But they may have taken it out already.
It ain't there.
I wonder if I've got one in here.
I have a day and a half left to buy it on this account, and it ain't there.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, Treasury unlock. I see it. Remind it's between Bashir unlock and premium rewards, but it's a $100 key. But the big thing is that it's gonna scale based on your own. Like, this one doesn't have anything to do with the packs on your server specifically. It's mostly your spend as an individual player, from what I've heard. I haven't spoke to very many people that have internal knowledge of this, but it looks like this is going to be like, yes, your packs on your server are going to be different depending on all sorts of variables, but the treasury is like 8 different variations, and it sounds like they're going to get even less if they've taken away the $5 key. Which
that does seem worse.
A $5 key could be a $10,000 key if nobody's spending $5 to open it. So it doesn't really matter.
Correct. So moving off of the treasury, do you want to talk about some of the benefits of this Ketracel events and what people are doing with it? Because I know you wanted to talk about things like I just got the Mantis.
Yes, so we can talk about lots of people probably got the Mantis unlocked because of this event store. So I know you've done a video like really recently, right? Tiberius on the event store. I haven't seen it yet. So.
Well, you got to clear an hour of your time because I go through everything.
I watch everything at like whatever threshold my ears can make out human words. That's how fast I do it. Like DJs is
How are you
tough.
going to have a guest on a show and not be able to talk about how good his videos are?
I didn't say his videos aren't good. I said there's this one I haven't seen.
Yet.
Okay, then I'll just rephrase that.
That's
How are
very
you gonna
recent.
have a guest on a show and not say that one video was good?
That video was great, and I haven't seen it, but I know.
We've heard about it.
See, Dale says he watched it this morning. I was going to get the cliff notes from Dale. We didn't have a chance
Dale
to sync up.
He took too long to get those notes. And then again, Dan, he didn't send the instructions either. So what do you really expect?
It's horrible. Hey, we have a semi-functioning stream this time, so what else do you want from me? So, I don't know.
Back to the Mantis, because a lot of people got that for free.
Yeah, a lot of people got it for free. Honestly, I have zero regrets getting the Mantis for free versus spending for it when it first came into the game, especially because of the 3 Apex hostiles versus 1 that you had to deal with up into the point that it was it 2 days before it became free to play that they finally put that out there? It's horrendous.
I'll say this: they should have done when you got your free to play Mantis. They should have put you on a 60 to 90 day timer that you had to feel the pain the rest of us went through for doing Mantis grinding.
Or
you know what? Let's think about it this way: you guys are the QA team.
yeah, if you're the early adopters, you're the QA team in the game.
Paid playtesting, right? We
Right.
pay them to playtest their mechanics.
Right. Outside of that,
I mean, I was all happy. I got my Mantis. I had my Mantis crew. I was rocking and rolling.
we had fun playing with
And
the stings
then
and stuff on
An
stream.
hour of grinding it takes to get almost a full cargo.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, Demeric. We are definitely going to do that.
It is a little bit of a challenge those first couple runs. Getting the crew right, getting the cargo full, and finding the right level and stuff. Because the first thing you want to do is you go to the first system and you're like, let's try the 33s and just see where this is at.
Yep.
And you're like, oh crap, now I'm stuck here and I wasted one of my 2 keys to get here.
Right.
And now these are actually really easy compared to where you are, especially if you're not like Ops 33 and you're just starting.
Right.
If you're in your 40s and you just got this ship for the first time, your research alone carries you to be able to kill 34s and 35s.
Right. Which I didn't realize how important that level 1 of all the research is for the Mantis in the Starship's research tree is.
Yeah.
So that's made life a lot easier.
The first thing I did was go out to 36 space, was able to fill the cargo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm in my later 40s. So I think, what am I, 49?
Yeah, we've still been playing around with crews and finding things that work or that work faster. Like once you figure out what works, then you're constantly like, okay, how do I do it even faster?
And
here's
so
the
much
point.
here now.
I have a small cargo. I have a small cargo hold, so it's much easier to fill up.
Right.
And it just changed too, because the crews I was running, now that there's 3 of the interceptor Apex in there, I don't use Marcus anymore. I switched to Kang because you're killing the interceptors now instead.
Right. I'm using, what am I using? I think we had slightly different crews there. I think I'm using 5
Gorkon.
And I'm using,
not correct.
I'm using Kang, and you're using Khan.
I'm not using Khan.
Not anymore?
No, I got off of that. I think I tried Lorca.
Mm-hmm.
I was, again, I have a small cargo hold.
Right.
So when I get up to a higher research level and it impacts it a little differently, I'll probably change. But I think it will always be the 5 Gorkon.
5 Gorkon, and Khan works really well for me. Yeah, 5, Nevin ever says 4 Kuran Lawn below decks. If you've got research up there or a decently tiered, if you're able to go crush wherever you're at doing that stuff, that's a great crew because you're getting way more for that token to get out there.
If you can get Stan in there in one of the slots too,
Yeah, that's where they said 5-4 Kuran, so they've got a speed crew with
Stan.
cargo. Yep, 5-4 Gorkon.
I've seen 5-4 Stan just to really load up on cargo, but that can take a little longer depending on where your research is at and what ones you're hitting.
Yep. See, Steve Hartman. See, I love this. I love our chat. You guys are great. because there's just a flood of all sorts of stuff that people are using that works. Like, I'm not seeing anything anybody says they're using that doesn't work.
Right.
Strange New Worlds crew. I used the Strange New Worlds crew when I first went out there because I was like, I'll be darned if I'm wasting a token right off the bat and looking like a dummy. Yeah, I don't use Lorca, I use Gorkon on mine. Just because if you got that guaranteed crit, and see, it's only guaranteed if nobody stings you. But it's always fun. Anyhow.
Sting you in the Mantis systems?
Yeah. I love it when they do that too, because it's like, I was like, you know what, let's see if this actually hurts, and I take a little more hold damage, but it almost does nothing.
Gotcha.
So,
That's
that
like
was
an
fun.
ROE strike on my server. That's like, we're going to war if you do that shit on my server.
Yeah, that's
Really?
I don't know. I have an issue with the Mantis sting as a row violation. Like, if they didn't attack you, they didn't actually do anything, because the sting only affects you if you are, I guess, trying to warp out is the only non-combat situation. But if somebody's going to attack you, like if the sting just wears off and no combat ever started, it didn't change anything about the game.
But now your buffs have worn off too while you're waiting for the sting to wear off. And now you got to start over again and sit there waiting for 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, well, you're talking about if they sting you in Mantis space. Yeah.
Yes, if they sting you in Mantis space and then you're stuck there and it's like, well, now I got to sit here and wait and watch my buffs tick away and then start over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see
ROE
that.
strike.
And the way, we were talking about it, I think at one point in time, was if it doesn't drop your shield, then it's not really an attack, which means it's not really a row violation.
Like if somebody does something and it doesn't drop your own shield, you mean? Your Yeah.
It's like if I attack you and I have my shield up, my shield drops. It says, hey, you're going to lose your shield if you make this attack.
Yeah.
But, like Lloyd is saying, yes, sting. If I'll actually ask somebody, I'll reach out to them. I'll say, hey, man, I got to get my stings done. You cool with that? If they don't answer me, they're sleeping, so I sting them anyway.
I base in wolf pretty often, and I'll just go like sting whoever's sitting out here getting concentrated latinum or whatever. Like, I don't care. Which is funny because I'll sting them, and then I'll be like, wait, are they overprotected? And then I'll be like, oh, they are. I'm getting them. Or they're not.
Sting our own people in territory when they're mining.
Yeah, you could do all sorts of stuff. But to me, it's like the only thing outside of, I guess you could make a case for one of your cloaking dailies that has anything to do with another player to get you any kind of points or a daily done. So, like, and the cloaking one is optional.
But remember, that's another one of items on a row. If there's a Scopely event that gets you points for an action, row can be violated. Every other rule could be violated.
Right. Let's see. I like the is an assault a PvP attack? Like, it is. It's just one that requires directives to start it. So
it does drop your shield. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is PvP. And Steve saying I sting OPC miners as I still. Yeah, that's what I thought of immediately when it was like, oh, they can't warp away. OPC miners, thank you. Territory, Isogen, yummy.
Mm-hmm. That was another fun fact about assaults, though, that people didn't realize, is that it counts as a PvP attack and drops your base shield.
That's awesome.
As soon as you join, too. You don't even have to be like picked in the group. Just as soon as you join the group, it drops your shield immediately.
I mean, it makes sense to me. Like, how are you hiding behind a peace shield when you're doing like the least peaceful thing you could possibly do? Like, you're pirating up with a bunch of other pirates to go steal stuff from pirates. Like,
but you're sitting there like a 10-minute timer waiting for the assault to actually start.
Right.
With no base shield.
One of the things that I've heard people are doing was they're withdrawing their station or whatever.
Yeah.
But yet they were going and attacking everybody else because they don't want to lose points, but yet they want to call out other alliances for pulling their bases out.
Oh, that's kind of a dick move. I agree.
I think it's a genius move by Scopely to artificially create even more conflict.
Angst.
Yeah. Right. And
War
it's
is
like,
good for profit, right?
Right. They are very friggy. War is good for profit, and if you buy this, you might have peace, which is good for profit. So,
yeah,
somebody disbanded their alliance.
When they bring back incursions next year, if they tap incursions in with an alliance-based attack event,
that would be interesting.
That'd be kind of
attack a alliance base on another server.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah, you can't assault another station if your starbase is undeployed. Can you, like, if you are... Isn't that the only recourse you have if you're the Alliance being attacked, is to go disrupt that Armada circle so it doesn't happen?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to go kill their ships sitting in the Armada circle. That's, of course, if you get the notification that your base is actually being attacked to know where your base is deployed. So
now every Alliance needs a dedicated like team of people watching wherever their starbase is deployed to make sure it's not being targeted. And if it is, you need like somebody with a big old ship cloaked to go in there right before it goes off and take out the leader.
Oh, does that have the same leader impact too?
I would imagine it does. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. If killing the leader would cancel it like that, probably.
Yeah. Does the host have to be in the circle to be able to do it, just like normal armadas? Because if so, then just blow up the leader's ship.
It would seem like it would be the case.
Yeah, see, Steve. Yeah, I agree with that. Good luck, as the attackers usually whales with G5 ships. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point, Steve.
Hey, don't put
points for
logic
Steve.
on this.
Yeah. Cloakers don't work if you have the Tachyon detector build. So how's that? That's a good point.
Yep.
Because
yeah, they were talking about there's supposed to be like a a cloak detection on the
Starbase,
station.
Which is awesome, because that means that Discovery commercial from forever ago is finally accurate. You remember where they're like, I got a cloak, and then she's like, I got my anti-cloak. And then kicks him out of the cloak. Yeah. Like, a year and a half before cloaking was even in there, they were talking about cloaking and anti-cloaking. So,
it's nice to know they plan that far ahead, right?
Right, yeah. I've seen, they've had this plan all along. They knew about Alliance Star bases when they put the Discovery in the game. So, it's all part of their master plan.
I don't see how you don't get that. I'm dumbfounded. I'm just dumbfounded.
Hey, Pegasus is out there hanging out too.
To circle back real quick, Bioman asked a question earlier. We were talking about Mantis stuff. Why did the Apex have stats like an Explorer? And I think the simple answer to that is that when they designed them, they were all Explorers. And then they realized, hey, we need to make these stand out more, so we'll just switch their combat type to Interceptors so that people can see them easier in the system. And they didn't bother to change their stats.
Oh, you got to be lying. You mean they half-assed it? No.
Well,
yeah, why do these Interceptors have 60,000 shield deflection and 5,000 dodge? Oh yeah, no.
Come on, man. You're lying.
So, I'm surprised, I guess, coming back to the event store real quick, that two things, I guess. We haven't really seen anything change in the event store in a week or so now. Nothing's been added to my knowledge, including with the Mark II frequency modulators are still not showing up in here. I wish that the what's the piece for the Mantis research? I wish those would show up in it.
Silver ions, or
yeah, the ions.
The one thing that I think we have seen change is, if I'm incorrect on this, is haven't the little specials in there rotated almost every day now?
Like the PvP combat,
the 3-4 day thing.
Combo.
Yeah, let's talk about those. That's something I definitely wanted to touch on.
Yeah, because we've got the PvP combat right now. Dan, I think you made a comment in one of your videos or on your Discord a few days ago with
the Armada directive one
for Jayla and
Riker.
Riker. And
yeah, it's interesting that they're putting
has changed since the other times that we've had these event stores. Is there's one pack that has rotated every few days.
Well, it's cool to me because this is like free to play Harrison shards for people. Like, is this enough if you do all of your events or not your missions early on and you get the Harrison shards plus what you get here to be able to unlock him full? I don't think it is, but I think it's pretty close. So I love that for people who don't have Harrison to be able to go get that completely free to play with the event store loot. And honestly, for me, I like having 4 days worth of max Mantis stings for my daily in there, and Urbanite, which will come in handy for the Solo Armadas starting in a couple days. There's a Solo Armadas event coming around. Extra Urbanite's never bad. So I haven't bought it yet, but yet might be the operative word there. But the Armada pack one was totally worth it to me, just for the directives. But I have not got the PvP combat special yet. 2 days and 16 hours to go. We'll see how I do on other events. This time around, I haven't spent any ticketed events this week. I guess today was the next time that they came out. Last week I did all of them.
You got those extra Borg Armada tokens now, huh?
Right. Which was awesome. The extra Mega Cube Armada tokens. That was cool. So if you haven't started that loop yet, where you get 10 out of the event store and spend 10 to get your 10 back every time that event runs, then this is the perfect shortcut for that. You don't have to sit there and waste that all out of the Return to the Mega Cube arc. Just go ahead and, pick this up once for free, and now you have more Infinitus shards than everybody else that was telling you that you were doing it wrong. Good job.
Yeah. It was another pack that had value in terms of just mathematics, right? You're getting,
right.
All the Riker and Jayla shards is what the cost, and then everything else was free. Then you just have to figure out, did 10 Riker shards do anything for you? Did 10 Jayla shards do anything for you? How many people just picked Jayla as their free-to-play 4th anniversary officer?
Right.
So they either unlocked her or tiered her up already. Like, does that 10 you were getting move the needle at all?
Right. I'm curious to see what else we get before it's over.
Yeah.
So
if they're going to keep rotating stuff like this. It feels like we're playing Let's Make a Deal, right?
Right.
It's like, do you want the prize in front of you in front of door number 1 or behind door number 2?
Honestly, it keeps it interesting. It keeps it really interesting to me because for a little while I was like, well, I don't really know what I want out of this event store. Like we were having that conversation. Like I have most of the ships I care about and other stuff. And then they threw that out there and I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, totally going for that. Like I like it for people who have, like, what do you get the person that has everything? Like Armada directives, apparently. Because you're going to use them at some point.
While we're here,
resemble that remark, by the way.
While we're sitting here in appropriate pause, it looks like Trader came up, not unmuted yet, but just want welcome her.
No, I'm here. I'm just listening. I'm sorry.
Hey, Trader. No,
don't have to apologize. Everything today is Dan's fault.
She's in.
We've already proven that too many times over today.
I'll take it. I'll take the blame. I can handle it.
You can't handle the truth, man.
Hey, I will say this is Trader, I'm probably one of your bigger fans over on this little group here.
Oh,
look at him throwing us under the friggin' bus.
He went straight for it.
What kind of jackhole is that?
Because when we started talking about like,
just say
let's
hello.
do some guest stuff, I threw the name out.
All right, we'll give you the pat on the back later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dan and I over here was like, oh man, we hate Trader. Why do we have to talk
we were
to her
like,
all night?
are you sure? We can't find anyone else.
So I can't be blamed.
I'll send you the 20 that I owe you for saying that and nominating me. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Make sure you 1099 them.
Oh yeah. Oh man. So
it's important. You got to write off those fees.
Thanks for coming to hang out with us, Trader. Hopefully
for the invite. You're
having a good night. Hopefully work's not putting a damper on your fun.
No, not anymore. But you gotta love when they call you at 2:30 in the afternoon and then it's just nonstop.
Ooh.
Help.
Yeah. Yep.
More help.
No. Don't want it.
It just depends what kind of clients you have like that.
Very needy ones.
Well, they're all very needy.
Dale, do you want to start a timer for us? Or somebody start the thing for us. The real question is, will you say Trader over 100 times in the stream? I think we're getting close already. If you count all the times we're like, hey, is Trader still around? Is she good? Is she coming on?
I'm so sorry.
You want to go over it?
Yeah, we'll go back with a fine-tooth comb and see. We're going to be at like 99.8 because we'll be like, and then stop.
Put a little counter in the corner. We get to 100, we'll do a prize giveaway.
It's not possible to say it more times than DJ.
Trader.
Oh man.
Trader. I made her clay. What? No.
The holiday hasn't started yet.
So we have addressed the assaults, the Treasury, the new Mantis owners, the event store so far. Is there anything that you'd like to add to what we've discussed so far? What thoughts do you have on those things? I know Welch has some questions that he'd like to ask you as a guest on the show.
As a whale, what are your thoughts about the assaults? Because you're actually able to like participate in them and live.
Launch them and stop them from happening if you want.
So what you're saying is she can handle the 1 billion shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Okay, so I have many thoughts. All of the thoughts revolve around something you guys have probably talked about, which is that the mechanic as a whole is poorly designed, poorly conceived, poorly deployed. Period. And for many reasons, the biggest reason, in my opinion, is that the entire mechanic, at least how they're scoring it, right, for this event, it really screws over lower level players. So I can join the Armada with my Dideritics. I'm always going to be in. But that means that there's going to be 3 other players that can join these Armadas, 2 if you count, the starter who's not me. And then what do we do? You're literally in an 80+ person alliance. You cannot possibly, do these efficiently or effectively, because guess what everybody did after the event started early yesterday? They pulled their Starbases. We've been able to find a grand total of 5 that have remained deployed. So, yeah. Now, why we need more plasma is beyond me, but there you have it.
Because Scopely wants you to want it, so you want it.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
And of course, you plus the person who started it, and then one of the other 2 is going to die instantly and not get to score any points because they don't get to shoot first.
Exactly, and it isn't going to be me because my ships are going to be the biggest. I'm up 60. I'm the biggest player in my alliance. So unless I bring like Rialta or a
which still might do it,
or like a legionary, I'm not going to be lower powered than most of the other players in my alliance, and I don't enjoy that mechanic. I don't enjoy that fact. I mean, part of what I like most about my team is that I can help them grow, and this isn't helping them grow. This isn't helping them do anything. It's penalizing them, and I don't appreciate that.
Nope.
On any level, I don't appreciate that.
So overall, poorly designed, thrown out there half-heartedly or haphazardly, and a crappy mechanic again.
Is there
Absolutely.
An F-? Can you give it an F-? Is that possible?
Can we go lower?
Yes. on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the absolute lowest, they score about a -1 million, in my opinion.
It's horrible.
I mean, the title of my video is Worst Mechanic Ever. I think it's the title of my video, so.
I think you nailed it. It's going to be hard for them to outdo themselves.
Yeah, I agree with you. I told this to DJs last night on Twitch. This mechanic is worse than the week-long CLAT mining that they did in February. And I hate mining.
Oh, that was painful.
We have a question here. Can cloak ships in ASB be hit?
Yes. So what happens is that if you have, what the heck's the name of it?
Tachyon detector.
Yeah.
Yes. That actually disrupts the cloak. So if you go in cloaked, you join that circle, you ain't cloaked anymore.
That's awesome.
So you don't waste your cloaks. You don't waste your cloaks on that. Just isn't going to work.
And you'll have a symbol anyway. Even if you are not cloaked, the symbol will pop up to tell you don't bother using it. So at least you get
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
So now they get +1 point to their negative, however many billion that was.
Yes.
So at least somebody at Scopely was like, well, if you insist on doing this, please make it to where they just can't cloak. And they're like, you know what? That's our concession. We're not going to make you waste the Tetrions.
The players in the circle know not to waste their cloak. The Alliance still doesn't know they're being attacked, but...
Well, now, see, we actually are getting notifications on our server. So when our Starbase, my Alliance Starbase, was attacked 2 hours before a event reset yesterday, we got a push notification. People were logging on. It popped up in game that we were under attack, and you know how the Alliance button like kind of glows and flashes during a TC. It does the same thing when your Starbase is being attacked. So we knew what was going on. Looked at it and promptly decided my Dideritics versus 3 Enterprise Ds, 2 Dideritixes, and 1 Rotaran was not going to do the trick, so why bother?
Right.
So we just let it go. And as soon as the attack was done, just undeployed the Starbase and called it.
Right.
I mean, it's just a terrible mechanic. Just a terrible mechanic.
Well, And I'm sure that there's no bugs plaguing any players at all from the Alliance Starbases anymore either. And even if there aren't actually any, I'm sure that people feel good about it because of how quickly they fixed all those bugs. And nobody's lagging behind. Everything's fine. So I think it's just poor taste to launch assaults against a feature that still has been buggy since it was introduced.
Well,
has put people at disadvantages.
Buggy, you know, one of my biggest issues that I have with the Starbase, I was so excited about it, like beyond excited. I'm like, this is going to be great. We're going to like reinvigorate the Alliance. It's going to be a mechanic everybody can, you know, use and participate in. And then they gave us this ASB.
Surprise!
Right, surprise.
And it's a whole lot of nothing.
And
It did one. I don't know about your guys' Alliance. It did one thing for mine. I came up with very creative threats of violence for those who dared to touch the Starbase without my express written permission.
Right.
People were demoted. People were yelled at. I threatened to cut off various body parts. I mean, it just became an absolute disaster. Right. And honestly, like when I think about what the Starbase actually does for the trouble that we've gone through for it, it doesn't do anything. It does absolutely nothing.
I jumped ship still. I looked at that. I am an Alliance hopper because I like to go get around and hang out with people as often as possible. And I looked at it and I realized Scopely was trying really hard to dissuade me from doing that. And I said, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to play the way I want to. And more people are realizing, so doesn't that hurt you really bad? And I'm like, if I want to do some research that requires me to have my reputation there, then I'll hang out in a place for a month or so and make sure I do a bunch of Cardassian armadas and load up on it, do the research, hop back out and go do something else. Like, I don't care that much about it. It doesn't actually impact my gameplay that much.
Yeah.
Because everything else is static. If I go join an alliance that has all those buildings already built and go join one and then go run the Cardassian armadas, that's where you get the power for it. It doesn't really affect anything else that I'm doing.
Yeah. So. I mean, if you can get an invite to the biggest alliance on your server and their, you know, let's say their assembly is 20, you know, you're going to have like 90% of the research like miraculously unlocked. You do it all and then you're gone. And what does it matter? Yeah.
It really doesn't work that well. It's mostly for Cardassian armadas.
You have to question, was there intent to keep you in your alliances? Because it didn't work.
I agree. And I think that's exactly what their intent was. But like with many things in this game, not with everything, but with many things in this game, it's an example of how the people that design it don't really understand what players put value in and how they engage with each other and this game itself.
If only there was like a way that they could talk to those players and ask them.
I know. We are so unapproachable.
We are. We really, really are.
Yeah.
And it's just frustrating. It really is.
Yep. Oh, man.
They could lurk in a Twitch chat for like a half hour and figure out more stuff than they figure out on their own.
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody told me that they actually have, I don't know if it's the devs themselves or maybe it was just community managers, but there's like people in Scopely, like Scopely employees that have G5 accounts and stuff like that. And every time I hear somebody say that, I think to myself, they can't actually be the people that are designing this. There's no way that the people that actually design these mechanics are G5 players. There's not any chance that they're a G3 player.
I think they like to give us that story because if they throw out that story enough, somebody's going to believe it.
Yeah, give the devs the G3 account and see what they think, for real. So speaking of, we've got some fun stuff. Can we move on to the roadmap update real quick? And before we do that, you're a Op 60 player, right, Trader? Yeah. What is your power right now? What is your power score?
431 million.
Okay, so I know if we're looking at this fancy little roadmap, that this is a mock-up work in progress. But did anybody look at your hailing frequencies to see the ridiculous smorgasbord of stuff they tossed on here to show us these emotes that your ships will be able to do?
Oh, Lord.
So
I was gonna say,
let's toss that link out there.
You know what? Unless
800 million power.
Fly around with a giant middle finger over my ship, I'm not ever going to use something like that. I'm just saying.
Right. It seems like a way to get around the blocks in the game.
I would, however, pay $100 for a pack that let me fly around with a middle finger emoji over my ship. Totally would do that.
That would
Just
be pretty
saying.
awesome. Yeah, it wouldn't do it, but I would love to have the option.
I think both Rev and DJ would have some new players on their servers if that was a possible emoji.
Right. Yeah. Go screen
you
snipe.
can have the middle finger.
Yeah, stream snipe, just flying right through, giving him the finger. As you
Right. So that cool this player this picture here. Did we toss it out there? 800 million power with 150 latinum, a level 13 syndicate.
223 million heart steel.
Right.
It's a work in progress, guys. It's just a mock-up, right?
Wow.
And they're
See,
flying
this is why we can't have nice things. This picture right here is why we can't have nice things.
because this is what the people who designed the game are like. This is close to what people will identify with this picture here, right?
So let's look at this picture. 800,000 power, and they have 4 docks.
Right.
4 docks.
800 million.
And they're not being sold another
800
one.
million, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Right. They're
Well,
not being
that's
sold
okay.
another one. There's nothing locked. There's just 4 docks. There's not another one that they're like, hey, you didn't buy this one yet, just so you know.
Amazing. This is amazing.
Right.
Well, also, look at the ships on there.
Yeah, the
A
Tala.
Tala and an Intrepid.
Right. And a Voclus. The Tala's not even docked. It was doing something out there. So what's weird
the
is
only thing that's really off in this photo is the 800 million power. Everything else is actually scaled, right?
right.
Yep.
And the
No,
horribly
those ships-
photoshopped ships on top of that system there.
Are not scaled. Those ships are not scaled right. Those ships. I'm looking at graphically, not the numbers there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, those are I don't know.
Clip art ships.
Yeah.
Someone
I
on
was
a
gonna go with the besides the 800 million, just the 150 latinum.
And
Yeah.
level 13 syndicate.
Right.
Yeah.
That gave me a chuckle. When we
Yeah.
knew that you were going to be on here
Now,
this
with
evening,
that
I went, I
being
don't think
said,
she's
with the
even
800
there.
million, with the 800 million power, if they had showed that as the faction stuff from what happened during the release of the faction packs,
Sorry, Pegasus. Didn't see that you raised your hand.
Oh yeah.
Welcome. Another guest.
Welcome. I mean, we're content creator heavy today. We've got some Star Trek Fleet Command celebrities hanging out with us tonight.
Well, we're getting busted because Pegasus did a video on that on something here. Wait, what was it? I missed it. I'm not even ready. I'm like Dan.
He's
Yeah.
staying up late too.
It was the roadmap.
Yes, she
It
did
was
the
the road-
roadmap.
yep.
Oh,
So thrilled, right?
Yeah, thrilled. All I have to say is I was very thrilled that there wasn't a prominent mention of the G6 economy. Now, it was rudely pointed out to me on another Discord earlier today that G5 was not announced in their roadmap, but all I have to say is G6 isn't there, so I am a very happy camper. I will pretend that it's never coming.
Oh my.
So essentially, now your theme song will actually mean something.
Maybe not.
so I want to put on a little bit of a
There, yeah.
tech hat here and show the disconnection Scopely does have with the community, because I would say a greater number of us are technically savvy. Is that a better way to put that, Dan?
Computer nerds.
Sure.
you can-
Yeah. At the very least, if you don't do it, if you've never done it professionally, you probably still have touched a computer and fixed some of your own issues.
Do we need the teddy bear for the case? You
Maybe.
Anyway,
Yeah.
this lag in performance projects for the roadmap. I mean, is this the Fisher Price model of it?
Other than they were audacious enough to include the fix the lag screenshot where everybody from, and even what server, like Apex server 201. See, lag is such a problem. We finally got your message. That's all it takes. Somebody was just talking, I think it was Dale a second ago, that said we need to use smoke signals to try to communicate with them. And apparently, no, all you got to do is actually go spell it out in the game and leave it somewhere, and eventually they'll find it. Fix the lag.
I'm surprised they got all those ships lined up in perfect words, if I'm honest. I'm actually quite impressed with that.
Yeah, that's pretty
Absolutely.
good.
Mhm.
It's a lot of friendlies, so it might be like a coalition level effort.
Okay, we can admire the fix the lag screenshot, but
That's the most impressive thing about it. It's very distracting.
That is the only impressive thing. That's the only impressive thing about it. Because this is not even layman. I mean, this isn't even a PowerPoint presentation template. You know, if you're just going to half-ass it, this tells us nothing. If you want to tell me what's in testing, battle log improvements, elaborate on that. Give me an idea of what you're looking at. Refinery and shop lag. Glad you can name it. What are you doing about it? I think all of us technically savvy group here in this community would like to have a little bit more information to know that they're taking it seriously. Instead, they just threw a title out here at us. Here you go.
Yeah, here's some words.
Right. The project.
I'm actually curious what this daily reset server scaling actually is.
That I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be 100% wrong. But remember when all the ships were stuck in combat mode and you couldn't attack a hostile?
Yeah, still get that.
I think that's what that was.
That they somehow...
There's always lag right at an event reset because there's so many things going on. People are always trying to score in events, removing mining ships, or from the new events loading and everything like that. And it just overloads the servers. Half the time the events don't score, right, for people for the first 20 or 30 minutes.
Right, and it always does come up.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they're trying to fix. They're trying to identify that, so because they know everybody is always on right at event reset to see what's the new thing today.
Right.
And they've realized that they need more dedicated space.
Virtual servers need to be a little more elastic around that time, I think is what it is. Like they need to have the ability to ramp up their resources in a cloud computing sense with scalability, where it goes, hey, during this resource, when there's a huge load on this, we need to just jack up the specs on the servers momentarily to handle it, and then when it comes back down, come back. I think that's
and Shrek just verified for us too. He's on the road chatting with me. So drive safe, Shrek. Stop doing that.
But no texting while driving.
No kidding. But it was scaling up to help with the lag at the event reset. You know, yes, Tiberius, good call.
Okay. Yeah, good one. So
now one question I got for Trader on that. So now, Trader, if I remember right, you're a day one.
You don't have to answer him,
right?
Yes, you don't have to answer his questions. You're not under oath.
I know where both you guys live, and I remember y'all's addresses. So just remember that.
It's about the same threat twice, but okay.
Don't tase me, bro. Okay, go ahead. Ask your question.
Nope, the Trader's still hanging out.
You're a day one server, is that correct?
Yes, I'm a day one player on server 20. Yep.
Okay, so with that, over the course of the last few years, like how we're talking about the event resets, the lags, and everything, have things gotten worse over that time frame, or seem like they've gotten any better?
Okay, so this isn't the first time I've been asked that question, and you have to remember. So I've been playing so long. I started playing before there were events, right? There weren't even daily minis when I started playing. There was nothing. And I remember one special event during the first 6 months of the game. So from the perspective, are these issues new? Well, yes, but they're also doing more in the game that's triggering these issues, right? So when did we realize lag became such a huge problem? With the rollout of territory captures, right? That wasn't a day one mechanic. Maybe they could have fixed it on day one. Maybe they could have fixed it 4 years ago if they'd known it was an issue, but there was never that much demand on the servers. So I think it's not exactly a fair question. I hate to defend Scopely, but I don't think it's exactly a fair question. I don't think we're seeing new things necessarily on the tech side. I think we're just seeing more events and more mechanics that are putting a strain on a system that honestly wasn't even designed to do what it's doing. I think that's the long and the short of it.
I agree, 100%.
I mean, sorry guys, I can't get going. My son's just woken up.
That's fine. Thanks for hanging out with us, Admiral Pegasus.
Good night.
I'll catch you hopefully again.
Yep.
Thanks for jumping in.
So
No,
I know.
agree 100% with what Trader was saying, because even if you just look at the between arcs when there's only like 1 or 2 events that start at event reset because it's just like faction hunt or something simple, there's not as much lag as a day like today where there's like 7 events starting simultaneously.
Yep, exactly.
Just to hop in my events and scroll, I'm like, can I get to the event and get inside that folder before it? No, I'm locked up.
No. Yep. Even if you want to, like, I want to repair a ship, but I have to scroll all the way over to get to the daily to then get my faction daily for first the new one. Like, that was a 3-minute trip today just to get there.
Yeah.
And this, okay, I'll echo the sentiments here. I don't want to defend Scopely, but
they could use it.
Yeah, they do, and but I'm not doing it. This was just not expecting. This could have potentially not expecting this game to blow up as much as it has. They didn't plan the server space. They didn't plan the bandwidth. They didn't plan, the CPUs. Whatever would have helped this, they didn't. I can guarantee that they didn't write this code properly. I think there's enough heavy tech heads who code who can see the problems right off the bat. I'm one of those, by the way.
Which is a fantastic problem for Scopely to have. But now it's like, okay, this is the world you live in. Can we live in it? Let's address it. Like, we got to fix it. You can't just be like, I don't know, we're just going to do this until the servers catch on fire.
Yeah.
And
wasn't it Ripper that said that the game is like written in Python or something ridiculous like that?
Well, this is the Unreal Engine that it's written on. I think all their scripting for the server is probably Python.
I don't know. Ripper would know.
All their little bug fixes that they throw out there. But, it would be nice to know, nice to hear that Scopely's saying, we're taking this seriously and we're redesigning our infrastructure.
I think they did that with this lag in performance projects. I think that was... They were supposed to take away that. You weren't supposed to like look behind the curtain, man.
I don't usually swear on the stream, Dan.
We're over an hour in. You're allowed 1.
Oh, that's bullshit.
You know how I am in real life, but that's a steaming pile of shit, that image that they threw out there. Oh, look, it's lag. Look over here. Don't look over here.
Well, we're supposed to be really happy about this exo comp that looks like you're getting more Borg loot. And you're supposed to be, excited about the Rite of Ascension coming, even though the name might change. And artifacts are cool, right? And we're all supposed to be overjoyed by the fact that we have, admirals and stuff now that you'll put in for your fleet commanders?
Yeah, your new World of Warcraft character tree. Yeah.
Right.
I need to back up. My brain's a little off. I've been corrected a couple of times in this chat. It is the Unity engine. I said Unreal Engine. No, it's the Unity engine.
Don't let him live that down.
Get him. All right. You know what? It's not 20 packs.
Yep. It's not.
That's all I'm going to say.
That comes from the server, not the client.
Right. Well, there's 2 parts to that. Yes, it's on the server, and yes, it's on the client. There's an interaction. There's the amount of data. There's a stupid amount of data that they're putting through there to prevent people from hacking the game.
Mm-hmm.
Some other games that I'm not.
We suspect you've never verified that you can't hack the game. I'm sure.
Oh, we verified. I verified. I mean, just stupid hacks, the normal, just memory editors.
Just to make sure that it's worth,
Well, there's a lot less incentive too, because you can't trade stuff between players. So it's not even like you could hack somebody's account and then like move their stuff to your account.
Okay, so we have Spock Monkey on, and welcome Spock, not in the chat, but game dev. And I don't know if you're saying you're one of the Scopely game devs or just general game dev. Not for Scopely. Okay. See, this is where I'm saying there's a lot of the community who understands what's happening and how to address it. But Scopely is like, boop, got my blinders on. I'm making money.
Somebody should probably understand that the type of people who will actually read these roadmap updates are the ones who will actually pick this apart to look at what's actually being said, reading between the lines and things. So you could have probably got rid of this lag in performance projects graphic here, and it would have said more. Like, it would have helped their case a lot better to not put that out there.
They should never have put that out there unless they're going to have some source quoted underneath the images that you can go look at and see a little bit more detail if you're so inclined.
Right, and there's no there's no guarantee this should have made it to the game. This could be something that internally somebody put out there and somebody else grabbed it and tossed it on this to get it out. Because that's what that looks like to me, is somebody making a case for like, hey guys, I think people are really mad about the lag. So it doesn't necessarily scream this was something that was conceptualized to be public facing. Not whenever it doesn't, it's out of somebody did. It's not like everybody at Scopely like signed off on yes, put that out there. Somebody thought it was a good idea to add to this.
I've worked in marketing for a long time, and if you're marketing, this would not pass that.
Right. That's what I'm saying, is that it is one of the few things on here that, I mean, yeah, we've seen the 800 million power, which might be just something funny somebody tossed out there because it is the most out of place thing there. So maybe somebody had a sense of humor there.
Dan?
Yes?
If you remember looking on the site and you remember the red Wi-Fi?
Yes, I do.
They have it on their site, on their screen prints. I don't know if it's still out.
We saw that one time.
I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, we talked about in the screenshot from their supposed dev server had the little, your signal is horrible. So yes.
Well, it kind of goes back to the same thing of how much of the stuff on a roadmap is what was asked for by players, or what is to take or cover up all the issues that still have not been fixed over the years.
Let's ask Scopely to provide what was asked for by the players.
I think that this chat could tell us more in 5 seconds what the players have been asking for than Scopely's done research into that. But I do sit in community. I do want to get off the downward spiral we're in here on the roadmap. It sounds like we're all very pleased and excited for 2023. So I do want to make sure that all the people are aware of important dates coming up, because we do have some that are, you probably want to go ahead and start your away teams if you haven't already, because we've got another assignment hunter tomorrow at reset.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Before you get dragged down to the dates, I do want to say that there is one thing on the roadmap that's extremely positive. They're talking about the game grinds and loops that are going to, that they state is going to reduce our amount of screen time. I just want to recognize that.
Yes. Hopefully they find a acceptable way to do that before players find other ways to reduce their screen time to 0. So
correct.
I hope that happens.
So back to your date.
Solo Armada is 19th through the 20th, so 2 days. Make sure that you're saving your Solo Armada credits for that. Recruit Jadzia Adact starts tomorrow at event reset for 2 days. Somebody can look that up and verify what type of event that is. Probably a material spend, directive spend again. Bashir's Favor and Meta, the 19th through the 21st. Rialto PvP comes around again the 21st and 22nd. The Armada Hunt is the 21st and 22nd as well. Dominion Conqueror 17th and 18th. Heavy Hitter is going on right now, so get out to your nearest capital system and blow things up. Assignment Hunter is running 17th and 18th. Last week, people postulated that was going to be a start your assignments. It was not. It was a complete them, so make sure you've got those in the oven for the next 48 hours. I think we blew those really quickly, but be aware of what's coming.
We'll see if they change the scoring metrics at all on the Jadzia event, because people were not happy with it, because it was the same scoring as the Wayun event from the month before, which was by heroic for a much better officer.
Yeah, I know this last one, that was just nasty with how much I had to spend to try to get her for those.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and unlock my treasury.
Are you going to unlock it?
I think so. I don't really have a big reason not to.
Game in screen, by the way.
I know, I'm showing something far better. We've got Tiberius up here.
Yeah.
So I know I wanted to unlock my treasury, and I'm going to spend however many Ultra Recruit tokens I've got. But I do want to... What other questions did we have for our guests as well? Because I want to be respectful of their time, too. So I know, Tiberius, I wanted to ask you, what do you find the most challenging and the most rewarding as a fellow Star Trek Fleet Command content creator?
Rewarding is the feedback from the players. When we put time into making these videos and to giving people this information to try and improve their gameplay experience. And when they leave comments and say, thank you, this actually helped me understand this better, or I had no idea how this worked, and oh my God, I was doing it wrong for so long. This is going to make my life so much simpler, make my grind time so much faster because I was using the wrong crew or something, or didn't understand how I was supposed to be doing this loop. Like, we get a big, I don't know, I'm sure you do too. I get a big, like, emotional lift out of that. Like, I'm making a difference.
Yep.
So, and that is incredibly rewarding.
Yep.
The challenging part is when you see people constantly posting in Discord and on Facebook with like the same complaints over and over again, and you're like there's like 4 videos out there about this already. Like, I did one, Dan did one, Rev did one, DJ did one. Like, we've explained this topic in so many different ways, but people are just like, oh, I don't watch those. I don't do that. I don't have time for that. Whatever. It's like, well, then you're going to sit here and just keep asking the same questions over and over again and be frustrated at your experience.
Right.
And that kills me a little inside, because it's like, it's right there. The information is right there.
It's probably our fault for not putting in the proper keywords and things like that. Because I feel like it takes as much effort to go Google it and find one of the videos that's out there by the content creators as it does to go get on like Reddit and go type out your complaints on the thing. But hey, sometimes people will go
Don't
to.
let that one bother you.
That's the problem.
No. Yeah.
That's the problem. We didn't type out the answers. They just want to read the answer. They don't want to watch something.
Hey, there's a guy for that.
Buttons for them.
People listen to what you guys say.
Audience.
I just look at the handsome faces. Thank you.
Those are not the people that are your true audience.
No.
No.
Thankfully, we have the most amazing community.
They could be.
Nah, they're the people who half-ass life and sit there at the office and say, "Hey, I don't know how to Google search. Can you show me?"
Right.
I bet,
Let me Google that for you.
I'm
They're
sure
also
they get
the
Wi-Fi
one-
under the bridge.
Nope. They're also the ones who use the same password for every friggin' system they're on, and the only thing they change is the last number when they have to.
Oh, whoa!
I used an ampersand this time. Oh man! So I do want to go
By
do the
way,
fun stuff.
These are all relevant comments, but with conversations I've had with Dan and Welch over the past couple of days.
I don't recall that. He's making that up for the clout.
I have it recorded in the cloud.
So I do want to go do the fun, like let people live vicariously through Dan wasting on his ultra recruit token so you don't have to. But we have a fun question for everybody. We are looking at the roadmap and things like that. We're talking about Trader's been playing the game for 4 years and all those things. So our big question that we want to ask everybody, open it up to everybody on the panel here, everybody in the audience, are what are some of your greatest Star Trek Fleet Command memories and moments? We were a little negative there for a little bit, but I'm sure almost everybody has some incredible story that they could share with everybody here. I know one of the biggest things for me was the first time that I was a part of one of the vigils in one of the servers when somebody passed away and everybody got together. And I mean, hopefully it's one of those things where you've probably been a part of one, not hopefully you've been a part of one. Hopefully nobody's passed away, but if you have, it's great to see this community, people who are at war and throwing shade at each other in the, can I say that? I'm not as hip as I used to be, but I can say throwing shade in Galaxy chat and things like that, coming together, parking their ships in there to have a vigil for another member of the community. So that was one of the first times I got hit really in the feels playing the game, and I think that's great. And I know Sinip and Watch, you guys both have some moments that you want to share as well. Yeah, but I wanted to see Trader and Tiberius. We could put one of you on the spot.
Let the guests go first on that one.
They can pass if they want.
No, you guys have to go. You guys have to follow Dan with that one. Like, none of ours are going to be that noble.
I've got other ones.
So I've been admiral of my alliance. So I started my alliance like on day 2 of our server and been admiral ever since. So I've played with about half of my group now for the better part of 3.5 to some of them even for the full 4 years. So I know a lot of them in person. I know their names. I know where they live, their families. I've met some of them. 2 summers ago, my mom had a stroke, and I was basically absent from the game for a month straight. Like, I just had to help my family. I had to deal with all of that. And, just transferred everything over to my XO and was like, I will be back when I can. And I will never forget coming home with my mom from the hospital and seeing this big bouquet of flowers sitting on the front steps of my parents' house from my teammates.
That's awesome.
My team is why I still play. I said this to Bubba Joe earlier. They make my heart happy. They are my tribe. They are my people. They mean so much to me. And yeah, I mean, there's something that this game, whatever I may think about the game itself and Scopely, there's something that this game has given me that I wouldn't have had otherwise, and I will always be grateful for that.
That's actually absolutely a wonderful story.
I am so glad I went first.
Well, we go with you with this noble shit, and then we get this wonderful, heartwarming story. And now you're going to go into the rest of us just finding stupid ways to kill each other.
But memorable ways.
Screw that. I'm not talking now. Not sharing my story.
Well, I think all of it has to do with community one way or the other. Like this community of Star Trek fandom, whether you were a fan before you started playing or not, I think a lot of people have become part of the community, even if they've never seen an episode of Star Trek. They're part of the Star Trek community now. So it's very interesting. Go ahead, Sam.
I will say that community has been a great thing. There are people that I speak with, people that I talk to. I've met up with a couple of the people as well. And the game has afforded us an opportunity to meet people that otherwise in life we wouldn't have met. So I share that sentiment. And Trader, I'm
just not as beautifully. Yep.
I feel honored to hear the story as you put it, because I think that shows the best of what these people have.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I mean, we hear enough negative bullshit that goes on this in this game. Toxic Discord servers, toxic Galaxy chats, and to know something like that kind of puts it into a better perspective. So thank you for sharing that.
I think it's a lot of the reason people are so patient with the things that we've endured in the game. It's not all bad. They do fix a lot of stuff in a timely manner, and on no small part because of the people we have advocating for us as players. But go ahead, Sam, tell your funny story about PvP now.
Okay, so the alliance we have been in, when Dan and I, Welch, met, we kind of formed an immediate bond. And doing stupid things is kind of my MO. The dumber it can be, the more I'll buy into it. And it's just got to be silly, goofy, and fun. I don't care if I die or if I live. But we had a moment where we were on voice. We were giggling like just little schoolgirls because of our plan. I got one of the biggies chasing me around a system. And Dan is like, I'm almost there. Pops in with his Cerritos. This guy is almost on me. We timed it perfectly. Popped in with the Cerritos. Dan buffs me. I turn around and kill the guy.
It was awesome.
But it was like we were stupid drunk having a fantastic time.
Right.
It was just hilarious. Laughing.
Tables turned. It reminds me of...
Remember the ships and stuff? Like your auger killed his
Oh, this way.
Was it auger? I think it was your D4.
Yeah, it was probably my D4 because I love that shit. But this was in our 30s.
Right. We were low. It was right around the time of the server merged too, and we got in like the first war after our servers merged. So I don't recall who it was.
I thought we were still in that other one where you're not my admiral. Oh, that's another great story.
I like the similar story to the one that you had when we were also in war, because that seems to happen a lot. And Dan tries to show up and recreate that situation with a different player, one of the biggest on our server, being chased by one of the other biggest on the server. And I was like, I'm almost there. And I get to the system and I buff the enemy.
Buff the wrong person.
Buff the wrong person.
He buffs the enemy.
Yeah, while we're all on chat. And it was just, oops. That was not my biggest fail moment, but one of them.
That was a notable failure.
Yeah, and one of the more notable failures. Goodness.
So we had this idea that we tried out. Not we. I wasn't really even part of it. I wasn't even comms back then. I was just a player. But you and another alliance leader merged the alliances, and you decided you were going to share the admiralship and swap the seat back and forth, which was fantastic in theory. But there was one player in particular who was having a hard time with something that was happening. And Dan was trying to smooth over. And this player goes, "You're not my admiral." It was just so appropriately funny that it became the joke. Dan was the not my admiral guy.
Right. And he quit the alliance. And then came back. And then what's funny is how close that player and I eventually became before they actually quit the game. But man, that was a fun night too. I know
we had a lot of fun times, and everything revolves around voice. And people in this game who don't get on voice and talk to each other are missing a huge opportunity.
Yeah, I think a lot of people escalate to Discord from game chat because game chat has just been so horrible. Like, thankfully you can pop it out to the side now, which lets you play the game and not just chat. Like, that was the worst thing ever, where it was like, wait, I can either chat about things in the game or I can play the game. I can't chat while I'm playing the game. I have to choose one. That was horrible. So being able to knock it off to the side there and do things is great. But I don't know. I think...
But that's game chat.
Right,
you know,
but I think a lot of people escalate to Discord for a lot of things, especially Row, which has, I don't know. I'm in so many of the Discord servers now. There's some good things in a lot of those Discord servers, but it's just another place to argue for so many reasons in a lot of cases.
It's toxic.
Yeah, very true.
So
Very
it's just,
true.
I think they create as many problems, if not more so, than they solve the Discord servers. Now, that said, I do like to go hang out with everybody and people can ping me on their servers, but oof, I've seen a lot on those servers.
It's a lot faster to have an actual conversation, than like a text war.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm the first one who will say, let's go voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why people are afraid to go voice. But
I don't know. Maybe it's like Stewie doing. You just got a weird voice, man.
Well, I'll say this. I avoided people in my alliance knew that I was female.
True.
And especially with women in gaming, there are a lot of... You deal with a lot of stuff that you don't want to deal with, frankly, in what's supposed to be an escape. And so I didn't tell anybody outside of my leadership team that I was female until the end of 2020. So, there's reason. People have reasons,
Right.
I respect them. I know that in my alliance, there are 4 players that are women that have never joined voice and have never told anybody else. So, it's their call, what they want to deal with, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Like, we respect you right now to get on camera and join us with this little mess.
Right.
Oh, he just called you out, Trader. Look at that.
Yeah, I can tell you that there are... I don't need one hand to count on the number of people in this game that have actually seen my face. So, I
understand.
If DJs is allowed to be the kitty cat, we can make her like into some giant, like roided out tiger.
I'm the She-Hulk. Yep,
Right,
I got my avatar all loaded up.
We're gonna PNG tuber next time. Yeah,
that avatar works in the aspects of your life.
I knew I found the right person when I saw that avatar. I was like, okay.
Anisius had the fox. There you go. We'll just...
Yeah.
But yes, I understand the aspect of people not wanting to know female, not female.
Yeah.
When we know these people, and I know we have a lot of female players. Hell, some are much more vicious than any guy out there. So it's not this thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the viciousness piece. I mean, honestly, when I started doing DJ's podcast consistently in the very end of April, I started getting... I had to turn on the filter on Discord because I was getting photos that I did not solicit and did not want to look at.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
People are dropping dick pics at you?
Yes.
That's just... You know what?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I sent him to
Hey, nobody needs to see that. Ain't nobody need to see it. You be as proud of it as you want. Ain't nobody need to see it if they ain't asking for it.
Now, Trader, I don't know if you recognize my name. It's Estonian for mustard.
Jesus.
Yeah.
If you look at it backwards, that's all right.
Because he's 12.
I am.
That's why
12.
I call him Sin most of the time. Because I can't handle it.
It's been a joke. It's been that, stupid name that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So some people pick up on that, and I get razzed a lot for it.
Rightfully so.
People know it. Yeah, well, I've earned every one of those. I think it's egregious what people are doing to you in that sense, and
yeah.
I've
well,
adjusted.
not just
People
her.
are
Unfortunately, there's so much of that. Like I constantly celebrate how great our community is, but that's true. Even our community is afflicted with that particular internet-based disease. I don't get it.
You know what a good response to those dick pics would be?
30,000 viruses to all their devices.
No.
Pictures of herpes.
Sorry, I'm a security guy. What do you want from me?
You just say something like,
I'm going to start a service, dude.
Surgery. You just say, they have surgeries for that, and then go.
Yeah.
They can fix that with surgery.
They don't know what the hell you're talking about. It will drive them nuts. Nothing
Pun intended.
of what the hell you're talking about. And they'll be looking at it from every angle. They'll be like putting a mirror under it, say, what the hell is she seeing that I'm not?
Just forward them like your favorite urologist, like just the contact information. You should talk.
Start your own Reddit page and then tag their username from their Discord server and then start rating polls for people.
Wow.
That's
a lot.
Just
Yeah.
too much work.
I'm going to start a service
It's a
where
lot
people
of
can
work,
forward
but it's
the original picture to that service, and we're going to handle it. Like sending the flaming pile of dog poo poo to people's porches. Like, no, we're going to have a very information security level response to that.
Are you talking about like people of Walmart.com?
No.
Okay. So I'm reading the chat on Twitch, Barkman. I honestly think that is exactly what guys think when they send those pictures. Like, oh my God, I gotta get a piece of that. I think that's exactly what they think. Why would you send it otherwise? Like, why?
Right.
If that's not what you're trying to.
I think what Barkman is saying, you say, hold on, I'll send you my dick pic and send it your pic back.
I'd like to know, like, what percentage of those are actually from the person sending it? Like, do they go borrow somebody else's on the internet? Like, tag somebody else? Like, is it like pitch hitting, or what do they call that? Like, they're like, maybe.
That's what I should have done. I should have just like copied the pictures and like sent them, like shifted them around and sent them to different people. Yeah, exactly.
Do that reverse image search thing and see where this actually came from.
Oh, I agree with Hugo here.
Either you're Jeff Johnson or you copy. You couldn't even bother to send me your own. How lame are you?
Right. Just go reverse image search.
Hey, that one looks familiar.
Right.
I thought I recognized you.
Gosh.
Didn't I dump you back then?
I don't remember where this was on the agenda, but I'm glad we got here so fast.
Well, we did miss one piece because Welch did one. Mention the friend.
That's a good one.
Welch has something.
I think Trader kind of hit it, but I mean, for me, when I started playing this game, I've never really been a big Star Trek fan, but it was a game to get into. God, we were still kind of going through the pandemic when I got onto this, because Dan was my first admiral, but it was that friendship that got built off of it. During the pandemic, and then interacting with new people was my big thing. So
sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at your heartwarming thing there. I just happened to read chat and Barkman dick pics were on the roadmap. No. Oh my gosh.
It might have been right there. We fixed the lag.
Sorry.
Yeah. I've only ever sent
that just like
solicited
way
ones.
in the left field. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Oh
no, we're totally fine with it.
That's the highlight from the show. You just cut that
for real. That is the highlight reel. It's just wait. Star Trek Fleet Command.
What will the graphic be for that? I am not making that one.
Don't act like you haven't already made that one.
Well, you do have a bald head.
Yeah,
it's going to be
box tomorrow. Though is going to have it'll be a little bit fuller, huh?
Yeah, the eggplant emoji. People are just going to be flying around with their eggplant emoji to other people. Jeez.
Like I said, I have the filter on, so I haven't gotten to anything since I sent it. So it works. It does its job.
Well,
it's funny, the eggplant emoji.
Thank goodness
we have someone in our alliance on ours that only speaks in emojis, and we've gotten to the point where we can kind of understand most of what he says. Drives me nuts. I can't understand.
Like hieroglyphics. Yeah, you created a cheat sheet that's like, this is probably what they mean.
Oh, no. I went through it with him, and he would send me like GIFs or point me to directions of what each one meant. So I put the translation matrix on our server.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, if anybody's throwing the eggplant, they're talking about me. I'm just saying.
Well, what's hilarious, too, is like this person quit the game, went rogue, changed their name, and then was like, you know what? Instead of just going rogue like everybody does, I'm going to only from now on talk in emojis. And they've been doing it for how long now? It's awesome.
Well, they gave us a break. Thanksgiving was the one day they spoke again.
What?
Oh, yeah. He gave us a gift on Thanksgiving and actually spoke real words to us. He changed his name. So under the primary name, he only speaks in emojis. And under the secondary name, he speaks to us.
Oh, I got you.
It's nuts. It's actually funny because on our Discord server, we named him our complaint officer. So if anyone has any complaints, they have to go talk to him.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good luck with that. We don't have to field any of yours.
No, that's pretty awesome.
So this kind of ties back into the last item that you captured there from what makes some of the great memories of this, which is just the silliness and the fun that we have here on voice chat.
Exactly.
This just hanging out like this, sharing these stories, joking around, making fun of things, thinking of different responses that Trader can throw out there. If you have any questions,
not just Trader, anyone in any aspect of your, I hope that you just take this beyond just Trader. If you ever receive let's say unsolicited, because maybe some people solicited, maybe there are people that are like, hey, I just met you and this is crazy, right? But for the rest of everybody, but for the rest of everyone, feel free to, these are free. We're not going to charge you. You can use any of these responses.
Yeah,
man.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. And if you need a new one that's absolutely stupid and funny, just hit me up.
Yeah. You want to go create we need to go make a bot on the Discord server for like, hey, I just got this. What should I do? Like a magic 8-ball.
Magic 8-ball. No, just laugh at it.
Someone else started streaming a bit ago. I guarantee you we're having a better time. Uh-oh. I mean, ouch.
Oh, that's somebody else saying that. Whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't me. I was regurgitating a comment over there. Who wants to watch me open my treasury and maybe regret it later and spend a bunch of ultras? And I know, Tiberius, you had a thing, right?
I did.
Do you want to do your thing? Because that's probably something everybody else will like.
Oh, yeah.
Better.
Why would you try to overtake that thing with your thing?
Didn't. That's what I was saying, as if you wanted to do that.
No, we are not talking about picks again, Trader. It's not about that.
We can do what we want in our spare time.
Talk about things.
We're just talking about things and stuff, right?
We're not going to just use team in that. Get your mind out for that.
Oh my goodness.
So,
the emoji guy is gold, for real. The emoji guy is gold. We should give that person a channel on our server for people to interact with them. Be awesome. Sorry.
Emoji guy?
Yes.
I'm just going to say that on my Alliance Discord, I created a channel for conversation and gifts that is straight fire. Like the most random stuff comes out of that channel and it's amazing.
Oh, I think every server has the GIF animations and
Some of them have some very not suitable for work GIF things.
most of them turn into that because we're all 4-year-old children.
There was one of them. I was like, "What? How bad could things in here be?" I'm on so many of those Discord servers. The first one, I was like, "Well, how bad can?" I'd never seen the until I was on one of the servers for Star Trek Fleet Command. The whole, do you consent to seeing what's in the server? And I was like, "How bad can that be?" Oh my god! I thought my child wasn't in the room. So, anyhow. What's behind door number 1, Tibbs?
All right, so let's stop messing around. Tiberius has something going on.
It's okay.
No, Dan keeps messing it up. He's been messing
I'll mute.
this up.
I'll watch. Okay. See the red? It's
of this damn stream. It's Dan. There we go. He touched it in its no spot.
There you go. He's muted.
Uh-oh.
All
He
right.
turned it off.
All right. Dan's muted. He turned himself off. All right. We can focus for a second. So, one of the things I've been doing on my stream that I started this week, and I'll be doing for the next 3 streams next week, starting Sunday, I'm doing holiday giveaways, or just as a way of saying thank you to people for being part of the community and being here for these wonderful sessions that we call live streams. I'm giving away to someone randomly in the audience a $20 Amazon gift card. Now, you can convert that through Amazon to a Google Play Store card or an iTunes card if you want to buy something in game, or it's Amazon. You can buy anything on Amazon, right? You can buy yourself a toaster, whatever you need. So if you are on Twitch or YouTube watching right now, I need you to just type something in the chat so I can actually record your name.
You sure something is the appropriate?
Something.
I got a
You're
picture.
gonna get a lot of somethings, is what you're gonna get. Something.
Absolutely. That's what I got. That's what I got Tuesday. I got 12 people typed something. So just so I can capture some names and stuff like that, and then we'll do a drawing right here, and somebody's going to win a $20 Amazon gift card.
And while we're waiting for people to do that, I can cut over and we can watch Dan instantly regret spending just shy of 150,000 Ultra Recruit tokens for this horrible SLB. Yeah. I'm feeling, like I don't have enough regrets in this game right now. So we'll cut over while we're waiting on that. Yeah, no regrets.
You can only say you have regrets when you're up 60, I'm just saying.
I will never regret anything then. The day that it's like complete at 59, even if we do make it up to, DJ's level 120 that went around for some reason for a little while. It'd be like,
joke.
You know what, I give up. Let me cut over to intermission. So Tiberius's face is hidden right now. Sorry, Tibbs. Let's go make some mistakes.
Well, before you do that, because you've made some mistakes, Tiberius, can we still hear you?
Yeah, he's in the chat with you guys. We just can't see him.
I'm just making sure. Say hi, Tiberius.
Wait, can we not hear him?
No, you can still hear me. I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
Oh gosh, that was awesome. Well played, sir.
That was perfect. Thank you for doing that, because I've been dealing with Dan today. Welch has been dealing with Dan today, and we had enough of that today. So perfect.
That's what we started our day with, is let's not noob up the stream and go test everything. All right, first thing, let's go unlock this dang.
You noobed it the first minute. So.
I'm unlocking
just
this.
In case, I was actually moving my lips just in case I was still on camera and he messed that up too.
Oh, right in the.
We're not saying it happened before, but
right in the innards. All right, there we go. There's some. We opened our awesome little treasury and feel a little better about that. Hey, there's Gold Ducat. I got to spend like 3 Garrick shards. How's Garrick the last of those I got? He's the one that I wanted more than any of them. All right, so let's go see what happens.
He had more choices too with that Halloween event.
Yeah. Whoops. All right. Let's go see how many lucky pulls I don't get. Who wants to keep track of all these things that don't happen? I don't have the holo cards yet.
Screen print.
Maybe I will.
You got screen print.
I'm not worried about that.
Well, you guys set up, and that's your.
Oh, you're recording this. You can go back on the damn video.
Yeah. Somebody just make note of what time it is. All right, here we go. Let's go burn out. What do we have? 145 point whatever thousand. See how many lucky pulls we don't get. There's one without a lucky pull.
Well, wait. Check it.
Anything
Make
good
sure
in
you're
here?
checking your transwarp cells. Or
Yeah, we got 2,125.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
The
about. I
transwarp
don't.
patterns, transporter patterns. Did you say transwarp cells?
You did.
Hey, you know what was going on today, so you're going to give me a free pass on that.
I'm going to give you a whole booklet of free passes with what you got going on. Thanks for hanging out with us, by the way.
Dan is not lucky tonight. If you get a McCoy, I will piss myself with laughter. I'm just going to say
TOS
that.
McCoy, yeah. That's the only thing I can get on Lucky Pull. Nope, 2,650 transporter patterns, nothing.
Think of all those extra Riker shards you're going to be able to get, though.
Yes.
Sure.
Excellent. I'll rank him up in 2 more shards. I want Beverly shards. 1,700, no. Meh.
Nah.
Meh. The only thing I get luckies in is the Strange New Worlds recruits.
Some of the funniest noises when he's playing and he's trying to get somebody going. He's like, no.
Like what that night that we were fighting off one of the whales from scooping one of our teammates with Rialtas, and we're going, no.
Playing
Wait,
with Dan.
he stopped playing?
Fun.
It only works in territory that well, though. He was like, it's not worth the trip out there.
I think Trader has blocked most new people from chatting with her. Just saying.
Well, I mean,
what?
I got
No,
what are you
did I
talking
say
about?
anything?
So, it's funny you say that because I had this random Ops 14 PM me on my server saying, I'm a returning player. I'd love to join an active alliance. Do you have space? And I'm like, yeah, I don't believe you. So I ignored them. You tell you what they renamed themselves. I don't remember what they were before. Their current name is One Annoying Fan.
Okay. Well, you've got a stalker. Nice.
I guess, yes.
Well, her stories have already shown us that she's got many stalkers.
There's 3,800 transporter patterns, so that was probably a rare officer I have that we got a decent pull out of. We'll call that one lucky pull.
It doesn't show you. It would still show you at first, wouldn't it?
Maybe?
That,
Would it?
That's an annoying person. I've had somebody attack me with my name on our server, changing their names. It's actually quite humorous and somewhat flattering for me because I'm not famous.
Somebody say stop.
So I'm in a war right now. Well, right now we've been my alliance has been at war for about 3 years now. It's our forever war on server 20. And when I do change my name, like they have alts, or the opposing alliance has alts that will take my name. So I'm on a pretty much a first name basis with one of the CMs on the VIP Discord. Like, oh yeah, they took my name again, and he'll go in and he'll like, I changed it. Like fluffy sheep, you can take your name back.
That is hilarious.
That's why I don't change my name anymore, unless I've got one of the other accounts ready to grab it.
See, that's what I do. I have an alt account. I get prepped to change the name there. I change the name on the primary and then hit enter on the other one.
So the first time I realized that you've typoed it, and I'm like, mine. Wow.
Nope, I've gotten that game, but that's funny because nobody can take your name.
I forgot to look at what my position was on the SLB before we did. Hey, look at that. Lucky on Airrock. It's not TOS McCoy, but it'll do. It's better than nothing. Oh, we got another. Look at that transporter pattern. 6,750. That's statistically an outlier. There's definitely another thing involved there. So it's not telling me who that was. Doesn't matter. No. You're just transporter patterns to us now.
Yeah. You're just dust. You're Thomas Riker.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me go back and look. We've only got 40,000.
That shows the nerdiness.
By the way, congrats to Jason in the chat. He is the winner of the $20 Amazon gift card.
Ooh.
Hey, congrats.
Is that Shrek? Did he win? Or different
I don't know if that...
All right, let's see. I wanted to see where we're at on this SLB before I keep going on this. We're going to go ahead and dump them all. I just want to know how many positions. We're ranked 2 right now. Sorry, everybody else. I want that wharf. If I can get it.
Synap, is it Synap? Is that how you pronounce it, or Synap?
Synap.
Synep.
I'm telling you,
Barkman
sign up
said
from
to
now
you
on.
That I hired you as my Discord censor, and now you're traumatized.
Wait, I'm traumatized. Wait,
He's hard to
must have
traumatize
missed-
too.
Oh, Synep was hired as Trader's Discourse in this, and it's a bit. Yeah, you don't want me as the censor. Everything comes through.
Yeah, your filter's broken. All right, let me go send this back out. All right, so
No,
we're
you know what the
second right
worst
now.
thing is? You talk to me outside of this stream, and I'm pretty calm in this. Well, calm
As
in the
little
stream,
as possible.
but yeah, I can't keep a straight face if I just say I'm always calm. He hears me outside of that, and the funniest thing is I do have a filter. You're seeing it here. Just think if I didn't.
That's fair. I redact my statement. I'll go bleep it out if I go do the highlight reel.
Oh no,
All right,
no,
we're back
I
to doing
didn't
this.
start swearing on this one. I'm just gonna say, I was just following orders.
Oh, lucky Sela. There we go. See how close that gets me
Is
to
it
that number
impressive?
1 spot.
Let's see.
Yeah, it was lucky Sela. I mean, it's not like I'm like ecstatic over it, but I can't say that I didn't get a lucky pull. I have an epic officer now. What? Lucky Tomalak right behind it. Haven't even opened all yet. It's the same one. What? And a lucky Carol. What is happening right now?
You're being. Everything you said before is totally thrown out the window.
Where's my TOS McCoy, dang it? Come on. Yeah, Dan's like, woe is me, I never get lucky pulls, and then on stream for once and be like, what are you complaining about, dude? Baleman told me 10 lucky pulls. Let's see. So what that puts us at least 4 if we count whatever all those transporter patterns were. That one time we were at 6,000.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna be your filter. Aye. Go F.
I want to
So
make
got filter.
your voice like you know how they do like the GPS stuff. We need to make your voice so that female gamers can hop on chat and just use your voice as like
you want me to be the Morgan Freeman of the GPS?
right, like just have your voice like a what do you call that? Like a voice changer, to where then just have a bunch of people, like everybody trying to communicate with your voice.
Oh yeah, a voice changer.
Yeah, they're all gonna sound like the guy from Scream, right?
Yeah, there you go. Or just have like 8 people all with a voice changer that has Synapse voice on it, just talking to each other. Be awesome. Sounds like a nightmare I had the other day.
Well, I do talk to myself.
Yeah, I know that got us in trouble once.
Wait, what did I do? What?
You remember you weren't muted. We were on a call. I got off to go do something else. I came back and heard something that you were reading out loud.
Oh, that.
Whoa,
yeah,
transporter patterns, 43.6 thousand. I'd say that's definitely a lucky pull of something. That's got to be somebody I've got epic, so. Neato. So that's 5. Bayamon called it. He said 10 luckies.
You'll have to give him a $20 Amazon gift card if you got it right.
So if it's
I'm
11,
just
I'm
saying.
good. Let's see. Come on.
You can do it, Happy.
Let's see what we end up on the leaderboard. Whoever's in first place is watching the stream and they're like, are you serious? Dang it.
No, they're
Sorry.
probably saying, here, watch this.
Or everybody else is like, you know what? We're going to keep Dan from getting that avatar.
This is the most exciting thing that's happened all day.
That's not fair. That's not remotely true. I think the dick pic conversation was way more exciting.
I mean, there's no dick pics, but this comes up.
You say there's none. I can take a break from this and your phone's going to ring in a minute.
No. You do know that I will have responses that will embarrass the crap out of you. I'm just saying.
I'm not getting rickrolled again by you
We can
either.
always call our old friend on the other Discord server and have him start sending pictures to Dan.
Instead of rickrolling, is it like dick rolling? Hey, look at that. There's Captain Tilly lucky pull. So we're at 6. That's the same one.
You're on a roll here, man.
Yeah, it only cost like however many of these we've saved up. I don't know how long it's been since I spent these.
Do you know how many people get mad at what just happened there? where you
Oh,
did
where
the
it
first
does it
box
again?
and got the lucky pull, and then it does the animation again, and they think they get cheated out of the second lucky pull.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no. It's just showing you everything aggregated, including that lucky pull. It's okay.
Yep. But so many people get mad and start yelling, Scopely cheated me out of shards. I'm quitting the game. This is stupid.
Oh,
It's like,
Lord.
they didn't really give it to you. You got what
Right.
you were getting.
Yeah. You got a lucky pull. What are you complaining about? Come on. Got so much of these to go. Upgrade now. We got 50,000 of these to go.
How many more do you have to go?
50,000, I think. More to burn. Is that right? I'm gonna go look here in a second. 53,000 to go. And we already got 6? It's not bad, actually. What the heck is Dan always whining about? Who is thinking real hard right now? Give me my TOS McCoy. Nope.
You're getting Gary Mitchell.
Yep.
Oh,
And you're gonna
you can
like
actually
it.
Tear him up. Look at that.
Yeah. Some
Dude's got
Wesley
some stats,
shards.
some,
I want Wesley
some
shards to
stats.
go with that.
Yeah.
Tasha Yar. That's my favorite officer. Most useful.
Wesley.
Woo!
So actually, I had reached out to try and get the data because I wanted to find out, what officers people chose for their 4th anniversary gifts to see if anybody actually took people like Gary Mitchell or anything like that were actually available. But I was told that information is not available.
Most of Scopely's information is not available.
It's like a lot of people who did it were like, I'm not telling anybody I did that.
I just wanted to see, because there were 36 officers to choose from, right? And I had a feeling most of us picked the same 5.
Yeah, probably. I picked 5 of 11. I tiered her up.
And I was curious to see too. How many people picked Pike, and then 2 days later came out in the field testing?
I don't even remember who I picked, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I got a lucky pull of Moreau on my free-to-play account. And then, because it was sub Ops 20, I only had a bunch of rare officers to choose from for that event on that account. So I picked Moreau again. And then now field training's out there where I could get Moreau too. And I'm like, dang it. Should have diversified.
Like tier 4.
Yeah, she's way up there though. So it's pretty awesome.
You got a tier 4 Moreau to go with your tier 1 Talon.
Yeah, and tier 1 Pike. But hey, that's actually like, there's some great stuff for new players in the game right now. Like, as much as I want to complain about the stuff that I've endured in the short amount of time that I've been playing, like 2023 looks like it's a really good time for somebody who's never played this game to start.
There are a lot of things that are doing that are making it nice.
Well, especially if they make good on some of those loops being a lot easier, like a lot less stressful and strenuous and requiring as much screen time. But the time that you get there as a new player, it could be a really good year to actually start the game.
I mean, they have to.
The Mantis players immediately have already had a reduction in screen time.
True. I'm almost like lots of people are Mantis players now.
Yeah, well, now, but
Well, that's good for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great mechanic.
Yep.
Well,
They had to cut.
it's a good mechanic.
Right.
The
If
Syndicate is
you're
the
pushing
great
more of
part.
your content to 35 plus, you have to speed up the time it takes players to get from 1 to 35.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And make them not spend 26 hours a day being relevant at Ops 35.
So Barkman's barking at me. Because he just got the Mantis, it's adding to his screen time. And I agree with you, but it's also for us who just got the Mantis 10, 15 minutes.
It is adding to your screen time overall, but if you had a Mantis and you were already using it and you were doing 45 minutes a day,
Hey, there's
so the
Swiss
changes
7.
they made cut it down to about 10. So now you saved screen time.
There's a
And
Lucky
that
Ball
was
Stinks.
exactly my point. So,
And
yes,
it's
and a good
screen
call-out.
time. It's screen time that has excellent payoff for individual players. It just does.
Once they fixed the Apex issue, it cut down a lot of the time for it.
Mhm.
Because the other part was that at the time when the Mantis came out, if I remember right, that was the only way to get the Strange New World officer.
Yes.
Sourcing, yes.
So yeah, you were spending more screen time to be able to get those officers.
After the first month they were released, I think it was. But Strange New Worlds La'an is still not in that pool, is she? Or does that tier up? Does she get in there at any point in time? No, I don't think so.
La'an is missing, and so is Una is too, but she's in incursions only character.
Wait, yeah, which everybody's dying to play incursion so they can get their hands on Strange New Worlds Una.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God. When is the next thing of incursion? It hasn't been announced yet. I need to know when to take a week off of the game.
First week of January.
Lord.
Yeah. God.
I'm
sure they've learned even more lessons since last time, since they didn't run it this month, and things will be better again.
There will not be a Franklin event. That's all we know.
Eco will be optimistic for sure.
On PvP.
Can we get the Franklin E?
I want a Vidar A.
Which
may come. That might be coming.
That, but that sounds like it's coming, doesn't it?
That does sound like it's coming.
With Borg? Yeah.
So who do we think that the Borg fleet commander is going to be, by the way? Like, I think my initial thought was Locutus.
Anybody other than the Borg Queen, I'm going to be disappointed.
Right. That's kind of my initial thought was Locutus, but it's got to be Borg Queen. But is it going to be Girardi Borg Queen or like OG Borg Queen?
I think
OG. I think OG.
Gotta be
you
Alice,
really
right?
think OG? I would go against that. I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of a
But
Picard
we don't have
tie-in?
the reason that I say that is we don't have anything from the Picard series, so...
Let me rephrase that from my standpoint. The Borg Queen prior to becoming Girardi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But
or 7 of 9. 7 of 9, yes, but not as an officer, but not as a fleet commander. That wouldn't make as much sense.
Yeah.
Thematically. Not that they do a lot of stuff that makes sense.
I would love to see them do this as a newly created Borg character with one of the original series, because with Kirk and Spock, they're talking TOS. Take one of the TOS crews.
But those look like, if they're talking like Admiral Spock, right, or whatever, those are movies. Those are movies. Right. So they're pulling from the movies.
Yeah.
I hope we get the OG Con.
That would
be amazing.
Spock and Kirk. Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montacon. Yep.
Say playing, boss. Oh, different show. Sorry.
All right.
I just saw a meme the other day of that. Somebody punked him during the set when they were filming the movie. Somebody had Tattoo actually come out, like his character on Fantasy Island, and actually punked Ricardo Montalban when they were filming.
Oh, that would have been great.
A scene. And he has this huge laughter on his face because, of course, it caught him completely by surprise.
Oh, that would have been fantastic. I wish they had a video of that thrown around somewhere.
Let's see where we finished. We're still second.
I'll tell you something. I wouldn't mind seeing the Christopher Lloyd Klingon come out.
You love Christopher Lloyd too much.
I do. Well, because he plays the same character no matter where he is.
You're going to do the voices now. You're going to do them.
I so am. You asked for it. You asked for it. What
I'm begging for it.
Lightning? Now that was his taxi voice. Back to the Future. 1.21 gigawatts. They take him into Star Trek, right? So, Captain Kirk, you want a Genesis device? I mean, it's all the same. Never had to change.
He's really good at being him.
Oh, him and Alf. Those are two of my best voices. And if you know who Alf is, you're old.
Wow. Thanks for putting it mildly. Did you say Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that was about as
mistake one, Barkman.
It's about as whelming as I thought it would be. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't underwhelming. It was just whelming.
You know what?
Not your voices, those, yes, but also my ultra.
Your
I'm still second. We'll see where I finish out on that. But there's 7 that I counted. Maybe there were more.
So I think Trader can show you some pictures that may help you with your pulse a little bit better.
If they're dick pics, I'm out.
Oh, you had no idea that was where that was going. So give me.
That's what she said. No.
My goodness. Okay.
I think she may actually be embarrassed right now.
A bit. Yeah, a little bit. That took me by surprise. That was a wide left turn out of nowhere.
Oh my goodness. Welch was the one I was
describe
concerned with.
Stand up, right?
Yes.
Sometimes, the big trucks have to make wider turns.
Oh my goodness. Is this past your bedtime? It feels like it's past your bedtime.
Barkman, that's what they called me and Bubba Joe when we do a show together. It's the Trader Joe show. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Classic. Wow. I like that, though.
Although technically my name is Trader with a T. It's the stormtrooper from the First Order stormtrooper from The Force Awakens.
Cool.
I just want to remind you that this is Star Trek.
Just take a moment.
I have a special place in my heart for Star Trek. Star Wars shall always be my first and abiding love.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna bust your hump a little bit on that one.
I just want to remind you she's played the game for more than double the length of time you have. So
I matched those two things together to get my screen name. So
mine's taken from the show Vikings.
Do you know why stormtroopers never send any of those kind of pictures to you, Trader?
Oh God,
they miss every shot they take. Okay, just wanted to say.
Oh my God, that's terrible!
Wow,
and awesome, and I love it.
I am impressed with that one, Sin.
I have never heard that one. I just made that one. If it's come out before, I apologize to whoever.
That might be an original, and
it is.
That was incredible. Don't say anything else because you'll ruin it. Go out on a high note, man. That was good.
I do love the meme of the OG Trek red shirt guys fighting the stormtroopers.
Yeah, the stormtroopers miss every shot. The red shirts still die.
There it is.
You know what? Did you watch this latest Andor?
Oh yeah.
How come the stormtroopers are actually placing shots?
Okay, so you know where the joke comes from, right? The joke about stormtroopers not having aim comes from A New Hope. Congratulations, by the way, you're gonna get full nerd here. So
yeah.
So in A New Hope, when Han and Leia and Luke are getting onto the Millennium Falcon and trying to run away from the Death Star, right? They can't hit the broadside of the barn.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason they couldn't hit them was because it was a setup. As Leia said, they let them go. So the whole point, why would you shoot them if the whole reason you're letting them go is to track them to the rebel base that heretofore you've not been able to locate. So they're going to track them to the base. They let them go.
They got like the outlaws in Western movies where they're just celebrating. They're like, "Woo, our plan's coming together, man."
But everything else they've always missed, unless you were Bad Batch.
Well,
and Mandalorian was great. Start of that.
God, Mandalorian was awesome.
That was pretty funny. That was an awesome throwback with the Scout Troopers. But honestly, though,
isn't that a different show?
Scout Troopers? No, those are the ones on the speeders with Grogu, right? They were shooting and missing at the can or whatever the heck they were shooting.
Everybody who says Baby Yoda still irks the crap out of me.
Okay, I think I have just proven just how much of a nerd I am. I'm going to go back to my corner now and be quiet.
Nah,
be exactly
we're all right
the
with
nerd
it.
you want to be.
Dan's outlaw voice sounded redneckish.
And don't accept any pictures from you.
Appreciate it.
I mean, go back to A New Hope for a second. The beginning, where the Jawas are killed, and the Sandcrawlers all shot up. The first thing Obi-Wan says is, only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise.
Right.
Exactly.
He's telling you right there.
They're
good
very
shot,
well trained.
You know, they can't hit Luke and Leia stuck in that corner of that bridge of the Death Star after he blasts the controls, and they have to swing across in that iconic movie scene. But like you said, they weren't really trying to kill him. They're just trying to make it look good.
Just remember when Darth Vader does that little head tilt and turn. I feel a presence I've not felt since. Mm-hmm. And then away he goes. He knows who's there. He knows what's going to happen. He knows why Obi-Wan is there to rescue Princess Leia, and sets his plan in motion. I'm just saying.
And his people listen really well. He communicated that plan out and was like, "Hey, under literal pain of death, do not shoot them."
Not a guy that hears no very often,
right?
Except when it's usually like, no, please, no.
Stop choking me. Yeah, man.
All right. Do you have one of the Amazon Alexa devices?
This is going to another place. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a knock at the door.
I do not. I do not have any of those devices.
My phone listens to me enough as it is. I don't
exactly.
If you go into somebody's house and you find one of them, just have some fun. Just say, Alexa, I am your father.
Oh my God, really?
Oh, yes. There's a lot of Easter eggs in it.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
I almost got one of those, and then I saw that South Park episode where, they get Alexa in South Park. And because of Cartman saying, Alexa, set an alarm, Alexa, do this, people's Alexas next to their TVs were actually picking it up and doing it. So when Cartman says, Alexa, set an alarm for 3 a.m., it was actually doing it, and people's alarm clocks were going off at 3 a.m.
That is awesome.
That's pretty funny.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty funny.
I had one.
Never get one of those things.
And I would be watching TV, and I'd hear her responding, and I'm like, no one's talking to you. I got rid of those.
Oh my goodness. Right. Well, I have to go be daddy mode and help get the kiddo to bed. So we're gonna have to wrap up. But I've had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Was it the high note, or did I drag it down to a low note? I don't know.
I think you mellowed it out. We're not going to say you drug it down.
You
just
me to
mellowed
expose just how much of a nerd I am, so I count that as a win. That many
on her first time on the show,
that out of me.
You know what? I can appreciate it because I nerd out about some things too. So
most things.
Shut up.
Next time we'll talk Lord of the Rings, so we'll just go all full on.
Oh, I won't be there on that episode.
You're sick?
Yeah, I'm sick. I'm
going to call in sick next year. Yeah. I got to take my goldfish for a walk.
I just think the movie's got a little too long, and we'll leave it at that. Go back to the picks.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Okay, if you've ever read the book, you cannot say that the movies were too long.
I read the book. That's why I wanted the movies to be a little shorter.
The Hobbit movies were too long because they added too much stuff to try and stretch it into a 3-movie series.
Everything's got to be a trilogy now. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been 2 and could have been done fine. The original one obviously holds up just fine, except for those scenes with the ents.
Yeah.
There's also chapters of the book you skip too.
Dan is trying to get off so he can go into daddy mode.
Mommy mode. Yeah, I'm going into mommy mode.
I didn't say that.
Well, we've had a blast. Thank you to our special guests for joining us tonight. We'd love to have you back on anytime that you want to. Just hit us up and we will work it out. Tiberius, I'm glad we got you.
That would be great. You guys are awesome. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
Well, you have an open invite, and so does Tiberius. You guys have been fantastic. This has been a great episode.
And you've made
your couch too.
Right? Yeah.
Can you sleep on what?
Crashing on the couch.
I have an open invite. I said, can I crash on your couch?
Are you allergic to cats?
Behind him.
If you're your couch, I think. Are you allergic to cats? Because that's going to come into play if I wouldn't crash over there. Okay, so you're fine. You can crash at your place.
Tiberius, instead of giving you a couch, I'll let you borrow my extra fridge.
Oh, thank you.
Wait.
Love seat work.
You're going for wait. Hold the horses here. He wants to sleep on the couch, and you're offering him a fridge. What are you doing? You stuffing him in?
Do you remember the beginning of the conversation?
Rewind 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you remember the prior to the stream conversation you were having with Tiberius. I walked into.
I have no idea what you're talking about. There is no proof of that. Shut up.
It's nice to know Welsh pays attention. I appreciate that.
Right, Welch gets the points on this one.
That's okay.
You guys both get points. You're both my favorite child. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 6 points to Gryffindor. All right.
Thank you guys very much for having us. Thank you to the audience for sticking with us through all of these shenanigans.
Thick and thin, right. And we'll do it again. See you guys next week, and we'll chat again soon.